Recorded in Chicago, Illinois with your hosts, Ken, Matt, Neal, and Jeff. This is Triviality. The cream of the crop!
Hello and welcome to Triviality, the show where a lack of seriousness meets a little bit of knowledge. My name is Matt, and I will be guiding you to our host today. Joining me in the studio, as always, is Ken, Neal, and Jeff. How you guys doing?
Hey,
What up?
Oh, that was new. Yeah. Trying some new things.
Trying to pretend we're full of energy.
Wonderful. All right, well, hosting today's game will be Brent Bollmeier, who you might remember from previous games as a contestant on a Game of Death and a regular game. He's going to be testing out his hosting chops because he's got a new show. So, Brett, why don't you tell us all about that?
Hello, guys. How are you?
Welcome back.
Doing good?
Yes, welcome back.
My show is called the Sports Trivia Face-Off. You can find it on iTunes. It launched there this past week. It's basically your run-of-the-mill trivia game formatted in a hockey-style format, which fits because I'm a huge hockey fan. It's all based on sports trivia. I try to run the gamut from sports around here, international sports, sports movies, and if it has to do with sports, I'm liable to ask about it.
Yeah, so that sounds good. Any Australian rules football questions for these guys?
I have had some Australian rules football questions. Funny that you asked that. I believe back in episodes 2 or 3, I asked a question about Aussie rules.
I assume that some of our listeners are probably into trivia, so it seems like that's a good good crossover section for you.
Yeah, it's a passion of mine. Sports has always been a passion, and trivia obviously has been something that I've caught on to in the last couple of years. So it's a labor of love. It's a blast doing it.
Yeah, sports trivia feels like it's one of those things where you're either good at it or you hate it, and every single time it comes up, everyone just kind of like puts their pencil down and gives up on it.
Well, it's funny because, everybody has their, I kind of figure out of the 4 major sports, unless you're really deep into it, you follow maybe 2 or 3 of them, and you'll always have that one. Like for me, it's basketball. I'm not an NBA guy. Other guys, there's a lot of people who will be big sports people, but not hockey fans. So I try to gauge that as to test them, but not over-test them, because I could really drill down into the morass of details when it comes to the NHL. So finding that balance has been a challenge, but I think I've struck it.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah, and anytime you have a question about Ricky Vaughn and what number he wears, just let me know.
I will ask that advice if I need it.
All right. Well, for today's game, why don't we go to our rules guy to break it down for us?
The rules of the game are simple. 20 questions split into 2 rounds worth 10 points apiece. At halftime, there'll be a special swing round designed by this week's host. After regulation, players will enter the final round with the points that they've accumulated and will have a chance to wager 0 to 30 points on 5 categorized questions. At the end of the game, someone will be named the cream of the crop.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And it should be mentioned that this is going to be me and Matt against Jeff and Neal for another ass whooping.
Yeah, it seems to be that. As we will be the Washington Generals today, I feel like that.
And we need to beat these guys.
All right, Brett, ready to take away the game?
Absolutely. Alrighty, number 1, I don't have these into categories, so we're just going to let them rip with number 1. What character was at first a minor character in the comic strip Thimble Theater, but later became the title character in the strip, its animated cartoons, and many other forms?
And you said that was the Thimble Theater?
Thimble Theater, yes.
So the consensus here in the studio is that it's probably a small character just based on the Thimble Theater clue there. But not too much is coming to us, so I think we're going to lock in with this, Matt. You good with that?
That sounds right.
All right.
Well, it doesn't sound right, but it sounds like an answer.
Well, they're locked in. I can't think of a small character that would have had its own comic strip, so if that's the right thing.
Yeah, my joke answer would be Tom Thumb for 2 plays on words for thimble, but he would be a Fable character and not a comic book character.
It wouldn't be Tinkerbell, right?
I had the same thought. I don't think so, but...
You just want to go with... All right,
sure.
We're going to lock in for no reason with Tinkerbell.
Well, not for no reason, but for not good reasons.
Yeah. And we're going to go with Garfield, just because he's a title character.
Aha, well, the answer is the Thimble Theater was developed by a gentleman named Pete Seeger, who actually lived in Chester, Illinois, downstate by me. And the answer is Popeye.
Oh. Okay, that makes sense.
Any relation to Bob Seger?
No, I don't think so.
I didn't realize that Popeye was in a comic strip.
Yep. Number 2, which Andrew Lloyd Webber musical does the song Memory come from?
We're both in.
We're in.
Alrighty.
Somebody want to say it though?
Yeah. So this musical is performed, around the world, and I've never seen it. It's been around for a really long time. I just wanted to make sure that. Well, actually, how about Meow? I just say the answer. So it's Cats.
Their former answer would have slotted in quite nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna say Cats over here.
So far, we have Garfield and Cats.
Yeah, and Cats as well. My favorite thing about this musical is that a song from it is used as a ringtone in BoJack Horseman
Oh, yeah.
for his agent, who happens to be a cat.
That's funny.
The answer is indeed Cats.
All right.
Could have let off with that one to warm you guys up. Number 3. In what type of vehicle was Boston Marathon bombing suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev captured?
Oh, we're locked in.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, then I guess we could talk it out. The only famous cars I could think of that were involved in nefarious deeds was the White Bronco. And, that's OJ, so that's not anything.
Like, yeah, I don't. There must be something distinct about it, but I have no idea. Just want to say an Impala.
Well, a Jaguar is another cat, if you wanted to go with that. Keep our theme going.
No, let's go with the Impala.
The Impala. Okay.
I do kind of remember hearing something, but
So you guys locked in with Impala?
Impala.
We are.
Yeah, he was found hiding in the back of a boat that was dry docked.
Oh, what kind of vehicle? Oh, shoot.
Well, probably should have thought about that one more.
And the correct answer is indeed boat.
We went a little
it was
too specific.
I think it was like a speedboat, but I don't want to be any more specific than that.
Yeah, it was dry docked in a gentleman's backyard, I believe.
Yeah.
Alrighty, we are at number 4. Who was the last surviving member of the Rat Pack?
It's either this guy or that one guy.
Yeah.
And we're going to go with this guy.
All right.
You guys are locked in?
It's one of the
We're
first
locked
ones, I
in.
think.
So I'm a huge Rat Pack fan, and I probably should know this, but anyway, so the Rat Pack: Sammy Davis Jr., Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Joey Bishop, and Peter Lawford. My thinking is Frank Sinatra died in the 90s, in the early 90s.
Yeah, I feel like early mid, like 94, 95 comes to mind.
And I can't remember if I think he outlived Dean Martin, and I think he outlived Sammy Davis Jr.
I'm almost positive he outlived Sammy Davis Jr.
And I feel bad to say this about them because they also were famous, but Joey Bishop and Peter Lawford I never really cared for. I mean, they were great, but I just, I don't really follow them. So I'm kind of just leaning towards Frank Sinatra, just because that's the only one I know that was at least alive up until like 94.
Up into the 90s. Okay. I'm totally fine with that.
You're okay with that? I could be way off, but we're just going to lock in with the chairman of the board.
Yeah, we similarly, the only one of these guys I remember dying within my lifetime. I'm sure some of them did, but I was probably too young to remember. But I specifically remember when Sinatra passed away. And
we also wrote Sinatra or other guy, and we didn't know other guy's name, so that didn't help.
It reminds me
so,
of
so we're
the
going
other guy.
we're going Sinatra as well.
The answer, he passed away in October of 2007, and it was Joey Bishop.
No, it was Bishop. Okay. Always flying under the radar.
Number 5, geography this time. How many U.S. state capitals are farther west than Los Angeles?
I think we're locked in.
It's at least 2 because you're going to have
Hawaii and Alaska.
Hawaii and Alaska.
Washington and Oregon would have.
Is Sacramento farther west than Los Angeles?
Yeah, probably.
So we're looking at
maybe
least
it's
4.
2, 4, 5.
I would say 4. Let's hedge our bets with 4.
Okay.
We are
4.
locking in with 4.
I think Reno, Nevada is actually further west than Los Angeles, for reference. So we said 5.
The answer, actually, we have Sacramento, California, Salem, Oregon, Olympia, Washington, Reno Sparks, Nevada. Actually, it's Carson City.
Carson City, yeah.
Juneau, and Honolulu. So the answer is 6.
Wow.
Well, we were on the right track there,
Yeah.
but
I knew Reno was west, and I was pretty sure that was on the border. I wasn't sure if Carson City was or not. So
That's a great question. You wouldn't think it would be that many.
Successfully researched from one of the many trivia books I own.
we should probably pick one of those up.
Yeah, everyone's... Jeff can't always be our research book.
Number 6. Henry Bessemer invented the Bessemer converter, which revolutionized the production of what material?
Henry Bessemer.
Oh, why do I know this name?
You couldn't go with Eli Whitney and the Cotton Gin. I would have had
It's
that one.
It was funny though. I was like, I felt the Eli Whitney thing coming on.
We are going to lock in with a yes.
I mean, maybe paper.
I was trying to remember if he was the guy who was associated with steel.
Oh, like sheets of steel?
Well, doing something with the iron into steel manufacturing process, but I can't remember.
He was a real man of steel.
I was either thinking it was either like fabric or some kind of like metal, but I can't remember where I know his name from.
So how about we either go fabric, paper, or metal? I don't know which one you feel more confident
I think metal
about.
might be a little too vague, Neal.
They're all very similar items.
Fabric.
I don't feel like paper's right, but to be fair, I've been on that course before where I think something's not right and then I'm totally wrong. But I don't know. Let's go industrial steel making.
Industrial steel making.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our final answer.
And we are going with plastic.
The answer, the Bessemer converter revolutionized the production of steel.
So we are down 30 to 10 at this point.
Yeah.
Already.
It's early. We got the swing round coming up probably. There's probably some sports questions in there. My fingers crossed.
I'm turning into Zen Jeff. The off-gassing from my new T-shirt is giving me a high. So
We just Ken and Matt need their own Bessemer converter, and they'll get going here. So
Number 7. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war is a line from which Shakespearean play?
Another series of books we should pick up at some point.
you know what? The Shakespearean plays have been coming hard and fast lately, and I feel so inadequate. Neal missed trivia last week, and we could have really used him. You know what's funny, Neal? That was my first gut reaction. The first thing you wrote.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can choose on this one. I think you're on the right path, and it would just be a guess.
Okay, we're locked in.
So the first one I wrote down was Richard III. And then I had Macbeth, Julius Caesar, and then Henry V. Could be Caesar, but when I wrote down Richard III, Jeff said that one I was thinking of when you wrote it down. So I can't be certain, but in honor of Ian McKellen playing Richard III and Ken loving Lord of the Rings, I'm going to go Richard III.
And it appears that we won't be pulling even at this question at all. So we also went Richard III.
Aha, Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war is from Julius Caesar.
Ooh.
That was my second one.
At first, I just wrote down historical because I figured it had to be one of those, and then picked the wrong guy. It happens.
Number 8. What airline ceased to exist on December 1st, 2001?
You think it's the other one?
It's one of the two.
You guys are in?
We're locked
Yes.
in.
I definitely flew this as a kid.
Okay. Well, so we wrote down Pan Am and TWA. I do remember when TWA went away because I think was it United that bought them?
Could be.
I can't remember. Maybe it was American. Yeah, I'm not sure. I know they both were around and they both ceased to exist. And this was in the 2000s, so it would have been when we were in high school. I'll go with your answer.
Okay.
We're gonna go TWA.
Oh,
And we are going Pan Am.
The answer, on December 1st, 2001, American Airlines bought Trans World Airlines, TWA.
Brutal.
we see where this game's
Not
going.
good. Not good.
Number 9. What musician was born Farrokh Bulsara?
Can you spell that, please?
Farrokh, and that was B as in Bravo.
I'm okay with that answer, and we are locking in.
All right, Farrokh Bulsara. Man, that's tough. Can you think of anyone with like a famous stage name? That's tough, though. We can go through that all day.
There's
So-
none, right?
Yeah, no, we could do a
There's only
bunch
like
of
3
them.
or 4.
I mean, we wrote down Pharrell Williams just for the fact that it sounds similar to Farrokh, but I mean, Pharrell Williams is probably real, but
I mean, I know he was so crazy enough. Freddie Mercury was born in Africa, in Zanzibar.
oh, it is Freddie Mercury. I think that's right because he was he had some Middle Eastern ancestry, I believe.
So
that could
These
be right.
guys
I know.
makes me so mad.
It's like, we might get one on these guys. No.
Yeah, we're locked in with Freddie Mercury.
I'm telling you, it's the high from my T-shirt. I'm on fire today.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury as well.
The answer is the late, great Freddie Mercury.
All right.
At least we got points.
Yeah.
Those recordings they have of him that are isolated are just unbelievable.
I've heard some of those too. They're mind-blowing. Number 10. This is where we get to the sports question.
All right.
Rumored to be getting a new team in 2020, what city was home to the first American team to win the Stanley Cup?
100% locked in.
I read this because I saw them canvassing, or not canvassing, but like trying to get support to get the team there. Do you have any ideas? I mean,
I got a sports question.
you watch hockey.
Vaguely. I watch hockey like in the postseason. I don't really follow it for the most part during the year or.
Well, what state doesn't
news.
have a hockey team, like a big one, like major metropolitan?
Well, the largest state that doesn't have a hockey team is Virginia by population
Okay.
because of the DC teams.
Texas has one. I was trying to, not Iowa. They probably won't have one.
Texas has a couple. California has a couple. New
Yeah.
York has a couple.
Alabama.
Alabama.
Florida has a couple. Actually, Pennsylvania has a couple. So Illinois would be the other state by population.
Illinois
then.
might have a hockey team.
Yeah, they might.
Well,
They used to.
I mean, it's,
Not well. You only watch
so
the playoffs, so you wouldn't know this
Illinois
year.
Illinois is the most populated to only have one hockey team of the top 6 states.
Does Wisconsin have a hockey team?
Nope.
You've never heard of the Wisconsin Cheesers?
I was trying to think of a city in the South, like Louisiana.
Hockey teams in the South tend to not do well.
No.
They
No.
tend to move north after a few years.
Yeah, the Florida ones are a surprising Klingon.
Yeah.
Side tangent though, are the Knights still in it? Las Vegas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so great that they've been doing
They
so
swept.
Golden
really?
Knights. Yeah.
well. Man,
Swept LA.
that's
when
awesome.
when you pick the best players from the best teams.
That's
That's
not how this
what
works.
happened. This is amazing.
It's not how it works.
Do you just want to go with Wisconsin or?
Well, I was trying to think of where an original 6 team would have played. That doesn't play now.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point of the question. Yeah, let's go
Locking in.
for Wisconsin for no reason.
You did ask for a city, correct?
Yes.
It's going to be Seattle.
Yeah.
Yes, the first American team to win the Stanley Cup was the Seattle Metropolitans in 1917, and rumor has it they're getting a new team in 2020.
Yeah, a lot of the hang-up is around who's paying for the stadium because they're trying to do one of those dual stadiums, so eventually they can bring the NBA back to Seattle so we can get the Supersonics back.
Yeah, back when they were thinking about instating Vegas as well, they were also talking about Seattle being the kind of counterpart to that.
When are the Raiders going to be in Vegas next year?
Next year.
I can't wait for that. I that's gonna be fun.
To answer the question, though, of who's going to pay for it, it's the taxpayers.
Yep.
Well, yeah, they always do. Just ask Paul Allen; he's got enough money.
So at the end of round 1, it looks like we are trailing 30-50.
Still close game though. You guys picked it up with that
The
hockey
Washington
question.
Generals trailing 30-50.
Well, they had a ladder on the court, so what do you expect?
Alrighty, I have a swing round, and the category is WDTLSF.
Okay.
And if you're asking yourself, what do these letters stand for? What do these letters stand for?
Fair enough.
So I have 10 acronyms and context that I will give to you, and then you will have as much time as you need to think about them. 5 points apiece, 10 questions, 10 acronyms. I will give you the letters and context. Number 1, ROTC to a U.S. college student. Number 2, ISBN to a librarian. Number 3, GMT to a maker of international clocks, and there are 2 possible answers. Number 4, NIMBY to residents near a proposed development. Number 5, GFCI to an electrician. Number 6, FDIC to a banker. Number 7, RISP to a baseball stats geek. Number 8, OSHA, OSHA, the U.S. government agency. Number 9, DVD, according to dvdforum.org for a movie watcher or computer user. And number 10, OEM to someone looking for auto parts.
These are like all in Jeff's wheelhouse.
Yeah.
We're just watching him give the thumbs up to Neal over here. So let's break apart and see what we can come up with.
And we're ready to hear the answers. ROTC to a U.S. college student, number 1, guys.
We went with recruitment official to colleges, which is wrong. But go.
Yeah, we weren't sure either. We knew it was someone who's training to be in the military, or at least like in a reserve. So we put Reserve Officer Training Corps.
The answer is Reserve Officers Training Corps.
Wow.
Come on,
That was a
man.
guess.
Core was the one we were going back and forth on. I was pretty sure about the other part.
This is bad.
That's a bad start. All right.
Number 2, ISBN to a librarian.
We guessed International Serial Book Number.
We went with Internal Sorting Book Network.
The answer is International Standard Book Number.
Ooh. See?
Yeah, I think we're off by like 1 or 2 words on these. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got only one word right in that.
Number 3, GMT to a maker of international clocks.
I'm almost 100% that this is Greenwich Mean Time.
We'll agree with you. One of the acceptable answers is Greenwich Mean Time. Greenwich Mean Time.
Greenwich Mean Time.
Can't speak.
It's either Greenwich Mean Time or Greenwich Meridian Time, so that's correct.
All right.
And for those lovers of sweets over there, it's Greenwich Mint Time.
Points.
Number 4, NIMBY, NIMBY, to residents near a proposed development.
We're going to go with no idea, my bros. Yeah.
You think you're going to put that garbage dump next to my house? Not in my backyard.
That is correct. Not in my backyard.
Oh, I was going to do a Clint Eastwood impression from Gran Torino, but that was stomped over.
Get off my lawn.
Not in my backyard.
Can't really say a lot of the things he says in that movie.
Number 5, GFCI to an electrician.
We made up some words that sound like they'd be useful for electricians, and we went with ground, frequency, current, and interference.
I was pretty sure Ken I might have a chance with this one because he deals with property management.
Yeah, but I don't do the work.
Fair enough. I did for a while. I do the nitty gritty. I believe this is a ground fault circuit interrupter.
The answer is ground fault circuit interrupter.
We got ground.
Good for electricity in places with water, like kitchens and bathrooms and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So you get electrocuted.
Number 6, the FDIC to a banker.
This one is great.
This is one that I feel like I should have known, but we put Federal Department of Insurance Commissions.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure it's the Federal Deposit Insurance, and we said corporation.
Answer is Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Good job,
Yeah,
Jeff.
Jeff was back and forth on corporation or what company.
Yeah.
And he didn't know, and luckily he picked the right one.
I mean, I see the sign, and it's literally written under the
Oh,
FDIC.
yeah.
It's the words are there, and I see it 100 times a day.
Number 7, RISP to a baseball stats geek.
Matt?
Yeah, this is one that I definitely knew. Runners in scoring position.
This is the only one that I knew. So runners in scoring position.
It is indeed runners in scoring position. Number 8, OSHA, OSHA, the U.S. government agency.
We went with Office of Safety and Health Administration.
Oh, administration.
We thought about going that way, but it seemed a little redundant.
It is.
Well,
we didn't
it's-
know it.
Bureaucrats would name it that.
That's,
though.
that's you know what, fair point. We went Office for the Safety and Health of Americans.
Aha, well, no points here. The answer is the Occupational Safety and Health Administration.
Neal and I were talking about this, and I was like, I think the A is administration, but what is the O? We couldn't figure out what the O was, so that makes sense.
Number 9, according to DVDforum.org, DVD to a movie watcher or computer user.
Hesitantly, we're going with digital video disc.
We went with digital video disc as well.
This is one of the most common misconceptions about DVD. It was a bit of a trick question. It is actually the digital versatile disc
Oh, that's right. That's right.
because it can handle data or any other things, a lot much more than just video.
Gotcha.
I knew that one was going to be tricky. I had a feeling, like, why would he put it in there if it was that easy?
Mm-hmm.
And number 10, OEM to someone looking for auto parts.
Official emission measurement.
Okay, so I pretty quickly locked in OEM. I know are aftermarket parts that are made to the exact measurements of the same as the original, I'm pretty sure, or the same specs. So we guessed original exact measure. I don't know for sure, but...
No, the answer is original equipment manufacturer.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
That makes sense.
But you were on the right track.
Yeah.
So after the swing round, we are down 80 to 40.
Still plenty of time for you guys.
Yeah,
though.
okay.
Time for the second half, these 10 questions. Number 1, which is the lower house of the British Parliament?
We're locked in.
Wonderful.
Are there are no options?
Yeah, I think it's Ravenclaw, if I remember.
Please. Get out of here, Hufflepuff.
I don't know what any of those words mean.
We're going to go with the House of Commons.
Okay.
Commoners?
House of Commoners. I think it's Commons.
It's pretty
House of
pejorative
Commons.
sounding.
We're locked in with
Yes.
House of Commons.
Your two choices would be House of Lords and House of Commons. We said House of Commons.
And the answer is the House of Commons.
All right.
Points all around.
Yay.
Number 2, Paul Gottlieb Nipkow, and Philo Farnsworth were inventors whose creations led to what modern and ubiquitous device?
We're locked in.
Yep, us too.
Good. If you botch this, I'm gonna be sad.
You're gonna have to explain it because I didn't even have a chance to think about it
Yeah.
for Jeff. So
As far as I'm concerned, that is the television.
Yep, we agree. The television.
It is indeed the television. Points all around again.
You guys knew that like immediately.
Yeah, there's a.
Yeah, I was curious about that too.
So, you can go for it.
My major was television production.
Oh, I thought Ken was going to get it from the fact that he and I were both huge fans of Futurama,
Oh.
and the main professor, Hubert Farnsworth, is named in honor of this inventor of the TV. Well,
Aha.
partial creator of the TV.
And I own upwards of 2 TVs. So
That is, you are
That helped me
you're a
there.
man above.
He's yanking your chain. Nobody owns 2 TVs.
I moved above the House of Commons. Is what I'm saying.
Number 3. The science that deals with the mechanics of the launching, flight, behavior, and effects of projectiles, such as bullets, unguided bombs, rockets, etc., is known as what?
can you think of?
I have a couple guesses, but I'd like to talk it out.
Oh, well,
Okay.
that's not good for us. We're locked in with an answer.
Oh yeah. So Jeff wrote
this
down.
is the larger category, I think.
All right. So Jeff wrote down ballistics, which sounds right for the projectiles, but then he said that was a subset of
I think it's a subset of it's a specific type of fluid dynamics.
fluid dynamics. Sounds like a good trivia answer.
I mean, but fluid dynamics covers a lot of things. It covers like the airflow over wings. It covers the aero, how cars travel through air. I mean,
Okay.
it's
So
not
then,
just specifically projectiles.
Density of milkshakes.
I would guess ballistics, but
okay, I'm fine with
yes,
ballistics.
the study of milkshakes.
We're gonna go ballistic and then redacted and sever.
I think you guys are right, but we're going to go with rocketology.
The answer is ballistics.
That's obvious.
Rocketology is a good band name.
It's not bad.
In the TV crime shows, they always go with ballistics to the ballistics expert when somebody's shot, find out the bullet and how it trajected and all of that.
They return the
stuff.
report in like 10 minutes.
minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
just run it through the computer.
Yeah, well, we got
press the button.
we got a
6 times.
fingerprint. We got a fingerprint match within 10 minutes.
It's either fingerprint, semen, or ballistics. So it's one of those that get you caught.
Semen ballistics. Is,
At least with Neal.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we should do.
And DNA matches where they just basically Google somebody's DNA and it comes up with a match.
yeah.
It's like, Siri, show me DNA.
Number 4. What was the name of the hurricane that struck Houston in late August of 2017?
There's only one I could think of, and I
It's
know.
like
I think that might be right. Yeah, we're sorry, David Ruffetto, if we get this wrong.
there was like
Didn't
3
we had him
horrible
on like right
hurricanes.
after, and I believe he talked about it.
Well,
yeah,
we-
we did.
We had to postpone because
Yeah.
but we reached out, made sure all was well. Which
Because of what was
Glad
that
he
hurricane name? Do you remember? So are you guys locked in? Is that what
we
I'm
are
Yeah.
locked in.
So initially, obviously, in that time period, you had Sandy, which was New York, and then there was the one.
That was a couple years ago.
yeah, and then there was Florida, which I can't remember.
I do remember
the name.
the photo of Eli Manning standing in the lobby of his.
Yeah, it's just hard
Building.
to keep all these straight because there's like 2 or 3 especially devastating hurricanes last year. Maria hit Puerto Rico.
For which, by the way, Puerto Rico still is like 40% without power.
Right.
Yeah.
And
They have so many paper towel rolls.
I would love to laugh at that joke, but it just makes me sad.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Hurricane. So Andrew, is that
didn't this one come after?
after Andrew?
No, after Maria.
Yeah.
So they go by
Oh,
letter.
because Andrew would be the first one then.
Yeah.
Hugo. I was thinking of.
I can't remember. Let's just go with Andrew.
Andrew
Can't
it is.
remember.
I feel like they retired Hurricane Andrew. I know it was pretty bad. That was early mid 90s too, or early 90s, mid 90s. I think it was one of the first. It may have been one of the first named hurricanes of a season to be a Category 5 too. I can't remember. There's something with Andrew that's pretty famous, but I don't remember. I believe the one you're looking for is Hurricane Harvey.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep, that's it. Houston in 2017 was Hurricane Harvey, and then Hurricane Irma struck right after that in Florida.
Yeah, and then Maria again, Puerto Rico, parts of Florida, but mostly Puerto Rico.
That's a lot of hurricanes to get all the way up to M. I feel
No,
like
the one that was really 2005 was the season that was really bad. We were getting into like the double letters and
But climate change is just a myth, right?
Yeah, that's exactly.
I was going to say they did a study about papers to get the like 97% of scientists agree, and they realized that people stopped talking about it in the science community because they just accepted it as fact.
Yeah, exactly.
They no longer had to argue their case.
Number 5. What TV personality had the good fortune to replace legendary Adrian Cronauer on Armed Forces Radio Vietnam?
I don't know if Adrian Cronauer is the guy from Good Morning Vietnam that Robin Williams played.
Could be.
We're locked in with an answer.
Okay. So I think Cronkite actually was reporting for the Vietnam War in a studio, so I don't think it would be him. So I was trying to think of like people who would have surpassed him, like Ted Koppel, Dan Rather. I don't think it's Bill Curtis. He's a local guy. And then I wrote R. Lee Ermey just because he recently passed away a couple like last week or a couple days ago. And I know he was in the Marines, but I just don't see. I mean, he was a personality, but I doubt he would have been in radio that early. He could have been. What do you think about that? Like a famous personality post Vietnam, like a Dan Rather.
I'm pretty lost on this one. I really don't have any bearings.
I have no bearings either. So I wrote R. Lee Ermey, but I just don't think that's him. I could be wrong, but
I feel like Cronkite was doing stuff earlier than the Vietnam War.
yeah, that's why he was already like an anchor. You want to just go Dan Rather?
Sure.
Yeah, we went with the one person we knew was a reporter during Vietnam for sure and was very active, and that is Walter Cronkite.
Okay, Adrian Cronauer was indeed the person that Robin Williams portrayed in Good Morning Vietnam. He had kind of like a morning show kind of thing, and I buried a clue in there that you guys passed on. He had the good fortune to replace Adrian Cronauer. It is Pat Sajak.
Oh, huh.
Interesting.
Fun fact,
Columbia graduate.
Ken and Pat Sajak are alums of the same school.
I mean, hopefully it'll work out for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty low-key under the radar. Usually only see him at Capitals games. Number 6. If you allow soy milk to coagulate and press it into soft white blocks, what high-protein, low-calorie food have you made?
We're locked in.
Yeah, we're locked in.
I mean, it's tofu, isn't it?
I think so, but there's a couple different soy products.
I feel like as a couple of vegetarians that it would be.
I think it's tofu, but seems...
I can't think of anything else because
Yeah,
I know it's a
tofu.
soy-based product.
Tofu.
So
As Doug would say or
don't.
sing, tofu is our answer.
killer tofu.
Killer tofu.
Points all around. It is tofu.
Doug was such a good show.
Yeah, classic.
Number 7. Which astronaut had the right stuff in his DNA to be the last man to walk on the moon?
What's that?
It's definitely not New Kids on the Block. Yeah, I think that's right.
Say Wahlberg. Marky Mark.
We're in.
What do we put down? Oh, yeah.
Let's do last name only.
It's not
Yep.
right.
Yeah, so we went McIntyre. No, I'm just kidding. We went last name Shepard.
We went John Glenn.
I don't.
Though that's
Yeah,
incorrect.
he never walked on the
I know.
moon, sadly.
I know.
He's an astronaut, though.
Not anymore.
Hmm.
He passed away.
Again, I had a clue buried in here. The right stuff in his DNA could be his genes. It was Gene Cernan.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
We all latched on to
do you know-
other things.
Do you
We
know?
got a Cernan Space Center here.
I was going to say, the best part about that, right, is he grew up like 2 miles from here.
Oh, really? What town?
Bellwood, I think.
Oh, yeah. Our friend lives in
yeah,
Bellwood.
there's a street named after him over there.
And the
Oh.
Space Center.
We can all go visit there after this game together.
What I think is funny about that is that's like 2 Chicago-ish tie-ins. So
I know. Brent's bringing the thunder here today.
Is the Cernan Space Center that's near Triton or on the campus?
I don't remember.
Nearby?
That,
When
that
I was a
don't
kid, I
remember.
think I was in a pamphlet for Cernan Space Center.
Willingly, or did they just take your picture and not tell you?
No, it was like set up.
Hey, kid, want to be in a Cernan space pamphlet?
You kids like space?
They were shopping me around as a model or something. I don't know.
That was in your previous model days.
I'll have to ask my mom what the that was about.
Old space model Ken, we
It's
call
something
him.
I remember, but maybe I dreamed it.
Maybe you don't want to. This sounds like a repressed memory. Let's not go there.
Well, we were looking for your thing that you have, and it's space model. So Neal has movies, Jeff has science, and you have space model.
Space modeling.
It'd be great if you were like the Robin Sparkles of space modeling, but you didn't know it.
If there's like a video for like 10-year-old Ken.
Kind of like,
No, I was like 4.
Let's go to the planetarium. Doesn't have the same ring though.
yeah, right.
Number 8. What legendary guitarist had a brief experience with the 101st Airborne but was discharged after injuring his ankle in a parachute jump?
Okay, we're in.
You think it's Elvis?
I remember he volunteered for military service, and something tells me that his career was cut short, and I can't remember why.
Well, the clues, I don't even know if he's been putting clues in all the questions. So he said experience. We can be 101st Airborne. There's still, doesn't that still exist or no?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does.
I mean, Elvis kind of makes sense, but I thought that he just joined the military as like a PR thing and didn't really do anything. I thought it was more for him, for like his image than actually, like Ted Williams went to the war and actually fought and came back.
Right.
But like, I think Elvis was like, I don't know.
Yo, man, I ain't going to be fighting in
How
there.
about we do this, Neal? How about we get the question one more time and you listen for clues?
Okay.
Okay, sorry, I had a minor distraction here. I have ducklings in my office.
Continue.
Please elaborate on that. Hold
I
on.
thought you said elaborate. It's like
Elaborate duckling.
How elaborate?
I do indeed have 2 small ducklings in my office, and they were pecking and making a little bit of noise, and I was hoping that they would be quiet.
That's f***ing adorable.
Why don't we have office ducklings in the studio?
Yeah, we should.
That's a new Patreon level.
'cause we
$500,
work-
we will get ducklings for the studio.
But he didn't really elaborate.
Right.
We don't have the why yet.
Yeah, we're obviously, I'm in a town of 2,000 people out in rural southern Illinois, and my daughters are all in the FFA, which is Future Farmers of America, or was Future Farmers
Right.
of America.
That wasn't one of the 10, so I didn't know that one, just so you know.
And they have been raising, my eldest daughter raised chickens, and the following 2 daughters have raised ducks.
Nice. That's cool.
That's really cool.
And the duck daughters are actually in your backyard as we speak. They're on the way home from Chicago today.
Oh, cool. I thought we all looked
We looked out the back
at
window.
the backyard.
It's terrifying.
What's going to be the ultimate fate of these ducklings? Do I want to know?
They will live out a happy life.
Great.
That's good to know. Mm-hmm. Oh, so you're okay. I see what you're saying. So you're putting 101st Airborne into the 50s.
He said World War II, right?
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Okay.
You need to think of people in the early 50s, mid 50s.
All right. I don't like Elvis, but we can just go with it.
You don't like Elvis?
I mean, for this answer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Clarify.
Go Elvis. That's fine.
All right. We're going Elvis.
We're pulling on the experience, the use of the word experience. and
Jimi
then going
Hendrix.
Jimi Hendrix.
I knew it.
It is indeed Jimi Hendrix.
I heard experience and then stopped listening.
Was I thinking, did I just make up World War II?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. See, I knew.
No, World War II happened, Jeff.
I knew he
just
didn't.
make that up.
I knew he didn't say it. That's why I was.
Well, because that's why I was thinking it wasn't Hendrix.
Well, I know,
yeah.
but that's why I didn't hear World War II.
Got any messages for Jimi Hendrix?
That makes sense.
Pick
Just
up your
heard the
dog.
wrong thing.
Number 9. What name is given to an angle greater than 90 degrees but less than 180 degrees?
Got it.
Are you locked in?
Yeah, I'm going to make a pun of it too.
What an obtuse question.
Thank you.
Yes, I knew.
Darn you.
I called the answer and your joke. We're locked in with
That joke wasn't too cute, that's for sure.
It was the right joke.
Was
to
it the
make.
right joke?
Go ahead.
It's obtuse.
The question or?
Both.
It's what Andy.
Matt's behavior and the answer.
All right. Obtuse all around.
And from Shawshank Redemption, or am I being obtuse? That is the answer. Number 10. In Australian slang, what is a thunderbox?
Ooh. Thunder. No.
At least they are Australian. You've
Yeah.
got the right tie in there.
Yeah. Thunderbox.
Got some bad things to say.
Bad Ken. Bad Ken.
Well, we had Garfield at Cats earlier.
Really? Is that where you're going with this?
Well, there is the thunder from Down Under. Mm-hmm. I mean, my initial thought was a boombox as well, but I just
My Australian slang is not super great.
I just feel like that's too easy. But
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you and I will sit here all day. So.
is there? I mean, other than what about an amp?
Plug it to my Thunderbox.
Yeah, yeah, stick it in my thunderbox. All right, we're gonna go with boombox.
We're going to go with the old porcelain throne, the toilet.
Ooh.
The answer is, and I'll go ahead and give it to you, the answer is a portable toilet.
Yes.
Nice.
A Johnny on the spot.
So after round 2, we both got 60 points, so we weren't able to make up any ground. The Washington Generals have 100 points, and Neal and Jeff over there, who remain nameless, have 140.
Not quite Globetrotters.
No, not Globetrotters. We can't do any of the tricks, but yeah.
I can't whistle really well either, so.
And Jeff is not funky enough.
Here are the categories for the final wager questions. There are 5 of them. Number 1 is lizards. Number 2, you're such a joker. Number 3, sports. Number 4, human and bovine anatomy. And number 5, moms of presidents. All the bets are in. Here are the questions for the final wagers. Number 1, lizards. What lizard has 14,000 hair-like structures per square millimeter on its feet, allowing it to stick to any surface known to man except Teflon, which provides excellent insurance against falling? Number 2, you're such a joker. In Pinochle, what card must be paired with the Queen of Spades to form a Pinochle meld? Number 3, sports. What city is home to the current champions of the Canadian Football League? Number 4, human and bovine anatomy. Do cows have more, less, or the same number of teeth than adult humans? And number 5, moms of presidents. Which U.S. president's mother was curiously named Stanley Ann? Those are your 5 questions.
That was not what we thought it would be. All right, we are all in.
You just want to go with those?
Sure.
We're
Are
locked.
you sure about 3?
Well,
I'm going to defer to you on it, but I don't know.
well, since they're locked in, we'll just talk about the one question. So, in sports, Mark Trestman used to be a coach here in Chicago for the Bears, and he was really successful with the Montreal Alouettes in Canada. When he came to Chicago, he had already won, I think, two Grey Cups. He went back to Canada after the Bears and after he went to Baltimore as the offensive coordinator. But I believe, I don't know if he was the coach, but I believe Toronto most recently won, because I think their uniforms are blue, because the Alouettes I think are red and white, and I believe Toronto, I don't know, I put Montreal and Toronto, but I think it's Toronto.
Okay. Then
So-
we'll go with Toronto then.
Okay, all right, all our answers are locked in.
All right. Let's take them one by one. Number 1, lizards. What lizard has 14,000 hair-like structures per square millimeter on its feet, allowing it to stick to any surface known to man except Teflon, which provides excellent insurance against falling?
So Jeff and I
Tragically
wagered,
bet nothing.
we wagered 0 on this question, and we put gecko.
We also went gecko.
But you wagered.
We wagered 20.
Yeah.
The answer is indeed gecko.
As soon as he said insurance, I was like, oh no. Because
Yeah.
I mean, even without the clue,
You had-
felt pretty good
you had
about
gecko?
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 2, you're such a joker. In Pinochle, what card must be paired with the Queen of Spades to form a Pinochle meld?
We wagered 10, foolishly, and we know nothing about Pinochle, so we just went King of Spades.
So we wagered 20, and now that I think about it, I think I was thinking of the wrong game. I was thinking of Baccarat, which is not the same game, but I said the 2 of spades.
No, the answer is the Jack of Diamonds.
So close.
No card players there, I see.
No.
You know,
Mostly
that's what,
poker.
Yeah, and that's what we consistently get wrong at trivia every week, is any sort of card game.
But we refuse to learn about it.
Yeah.
We're very stubborn about it.
Well, at least you're sticking to your guns then. Number 3, the city that is home to the current champions of the Canadian Football League.
So we went 10, and we were between Montreal and Toronto. We know the Alouettes win a lot, but I believe, and that this was on me, I leaned towards Toronto for that question, so we went Toronto.
And we wagered 20, and based on Matt's referral, we are going the other way and going Montreal.
And the answer is the Toronto Argonauts
That hurts.
are the current champions of the CFL.
We just can't catch a break.
Thank you, Jason.
And of MLS also. Toronto FC is the reigning champions.
Cool.
Good time for Toronto. Maybe, and their basketball team's doing very well, too.
Maybe the Leafs will do something this year.
Now they're already down.
Now, let's not go crazy here.
Wait, who's the basketball team?
The
Raptors.
Raptors.
Oh, they're good?
They're in it.
Yes, they're good.
Yeah, they're quite good.
They are good.
they're very much in it.
Number 4, human and bovine anatomy. Do cows have more, less, or the same number of teeth than adult humans?
So we wagered 30 on this one. We based purely on them mostly being vegetarian. We would think that they'd have less teeth, so we went with less.
And we wagered 10. we thought maybe public thinking would make it seem they have more because they chew all day, but we just thought it might be an interesting fact if they had the same amount of teeth.
And the answer is they both have 32, the same number of teeth.
Just can't catch a break.
I was basing that on the strength of giraffes have the same number of neck bones that humans have, because it's mammals share a lot of bone structure, even though it's different. I figured maybe teeth are the same. So
Yeah, we all have the same thunderbox.
And number 5, moms of presidents. Which U.S. president's mother was curiously named Stanley Ann?
We went 10 on this one. We didn't really know it. I just was thinking of an old question I wrote about Calvin Coolidge being curious, and Jeff said, okay, whatever, just go with it. So we went Calvin Coolidge.
And we bet 10, and just on a guess, we said Lincoln.
No, the answer, actually, her name was Stanley Ann Dunham. The answer is Barack Obama.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Didn't know that.
Again, a Chicago reference.
Yeah, you get a lot of them in there. That was great.
Sticking with form, the Washington Generals over here finishing with 40. And today's cream of the crop is Neal and Jeff.
I am the cream, yeah. The cream of the crop.
with 140,
With 140.
which is a pretty good Washington Generals score. 140 to 40. That sounds about right.
Yeah, I think it's important that you keep it close in the first half, and then you just kind of fall apart.
Right,
at the
because
end.
all the ticket buyers, you want them to be entertained for a little while.
Yeah, by the time you're dumping confetti on somebody's head, then it should be people are ready to go. They've had their hot dog. They're kind of done.
When you
with
bring
it.
a 7-year-old in to come shoot threes,
Yeah.
unguarded.
Well, that's just like Mike is what that.
Yeah.
That kid would probably do better than me.
Yeah, these are great questions, Brent. This is a really, really well put together game.
Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys enjoyed them.
Yeah, we always enjoy having you on. Can you talk really, really quickly again about Sports Trivia Face-Off and where people can find it?
It is the Sports Trivia Face-Off. It'll be on iTunes and Spotify. It is already on iTunes. It'll be on Spotify soon. Same format, just all based on sports. So if you think you know your sports trivia, feel free to give a listen or maybe be a contestant.
Great. And you have a Facebook group as well, right?
Yes, we have a Sports Trivia Face-Off Facebook group as well. That's hard to say. Sports Trivia Face-Off Facebook group.
Great. Well, hopefully everyone can check that out and become a contestant for you. Matt, why don't you tell people where to find us on social media and everywhere else?
All right, and to get in touch with us, you can always check out our website, www.trivialitypodcast.com. Search for us on Facebook, Twitter, @TrivialityPod. If you'd like to support us, patreon.com/TrivialityPodcast. Thanks to Brent for hosting and all the guys in the studio. And that was Triviality.
Well, let's say for the moment this Blatch does exist. You think he'd just fall to his knees and cry, "Yes, I did it, I confess. Oh, and by the way, add a life term to my sentence."
You know that wouldn't matter. With Tommy's testimony, I can get a new trial.
Well, that's assuming Blatch is even still there. Chances are excellent he'd be released by now.
Well, they'd have his last known address, names of relatives. There's a chance, isn't it? How can you be so obtuse?
What did you call me?
Obtuse? Is it deliberate?